Okay, my name is Gary Wilson. I'm a watch manager at Nottinghamshire Fire and Rescue Service. Operational, that means I'm at the fire station. I'm going to talk to you today about myself. I've got one of the hidden disabilities, which is what they call neurodiverse. So I happen to be dyslexic. I'm going to talk to you about the challenges, how I discovered I was dyslexic, because I didn't find out until about 10 years ago, and the positives from actually being dyslexic, as well as the challenges of it as well. So the challenges really started at school. I wasn't very academic. My English and maths were particularly bad. Again, dyslexia and dyscalculus sometimes come hand in hand together. In my case, they did. My English was terrible. I had a really bad English teacher who belittled me most days, almost every day, calling me thick and stupid, which, as a young person, it's not very nice. But you learn to cope with it in different ways. My way was I was disruptive in class, and also a bit of a class clown. So I was a bit of an idiot in that respect, but that never really changed. You know, still to this day, I'm that same person. So the practical subjects at school, I was really good at. You know, if it was science or woodwork, you know, doing things with my hands, really good. And I carried on through school, eventually reached the end, didn't get the great grades, and I ended up seeing the careers person at school, and I said to her, I want to be a firefighter. And she just laughed. And I sat there in the room with her, and she just laughed and said, your grades aren't going to be good enough. So I thought, oh, okay, I'll take that on the chin, and I did. And look now, you know, I'd love to see that person, because I'd wipe that smile off the face. You know, I am a firefighter. I'm a watch manager. It's great. So I left school, became a bricklayer. Again, utilising that skill of using your hands. Really enjoyed it, and did further education at college because I knew I wasn't stupid. So I thought I'd actually learn a little bit more. So while I was in the learning game, I carried on. Did surveying and levelling, building measurement accounts, and building management, and I realised then I'm not that thick person. I can actually achieve things if I put my mind to it. It just means I'm working very hard, but I'll do it. So firefighter, I'm going to go for it. It's my dream job. Let's do it. So I did. I applied. 3 times it took me to get through. The first time I failed on the English. The second time I failed on the English, and the reason being is the English test, if you had more than 5 spelling mistakes, you're kicked out. Needless to say, I got 6 each time. The third time, I passed. So straight through, got onto the course, and I loved the course, absolutely brilliant. Thoroughly enjoyed it, did really well. Most of the exams or assessments, the theory ones, did quite good in there, which quite surprised me. You know, I was up in the 90%. Until they made a decision to reduce the time. So the time scale was reduced down to by about half an hour less, and all of a sudden I dropped from scoring 90% down to 70 or below, which was starting to be in fail category there. Luckily, I managed to pull through and get through the course. Things have been different today. You know, if the course had realised I was dyslexic now, they'd have allowed that more time, but then they didn't. So I got through that, got to a fire station, thoroughly enjoyed my time there. It was great. Loved every single minute of it. Absolutely fantastic. Did dyslexia interfere with anything there? At times, yeah. Some of my written things on the BA board, for instance, when you commit people into burning building, wasn't necessarily very good writing. And I'd be belittled by that by some other people, you know, the BR managers that come up and give me what for because I've wrote something incorrect on the board. And also, I did some presentations for schools. And when I went to the schools, one of the things that it was a presentation on arson, and I said about people losing their jobs. And it's only the kids that realise you've spelt lose wrong. You put loose instead of lose. And I just laughed it off. I'm that class clown, like I said. So I carried on, eventually came across a really good manager who suggested that I put myself a promotion and became a supervisory manager myself. And it was only through that I discovered I was dyslexic. I went on a course, And it was very good, covered all sorts of issues like the coping mechanisms that dyslexia has, the strengths, the challenges that we face, and also the famous dyslexics. And it doesn't discriminate, from royalty down to anybody. It really doesn't discriminate. There's famous dyslexics like Albert Einstein and Richard Branson, Winston Churchill, Will Smith. There's famous people out there that are dyslexics and got on with their life really well. And I thought, okay, that's reasonable. Let's carry on with this. This course is great. I'm loving it. And I recognised the traits that they were saying that, that we didn't do very well at school, we struggled with this English, but we communicated well on other things as well. So it was like, I'm seeing a lot of these traits coming in. So I could be dyslexic here, but I didn't really think so. So we did a little test at the end. And the test was a very quick questionnaire, and I'm sat with another person at the side of me, and we're both filling out this questionnaire together. And I looked across at his, he looked across at mine, and we got to mark one another's. And I'd scored really high, and he scored really low. And we just looked and laughed at one another and said, "One of us is disabled here, mate." And which was quite, for us, it was funny, but it meant something to us at the same time. We did feel it. And the tutor came round and she looked at the paper and she said, "Can I have a word with you after?" And it was me she was talking to. So she took me aside and I discovered I was dyslexic. I was tested, found out I was. What did it mean to me? Firstly, fear and anxiety. I have a disability. It really did worry me. I found out now, after all these years, I have a disability. What happens now then? Will it change me? I thought, no, not really. How have I got on in life so far? I've done all right. Is it stopping me doing my job? No, I'm still doing my job, and I think I'm doing it good. So no, not in that respect. So I then looked at my dyslexia, and I thought, my written communication and things along them lines is poor. It always has been, so nothing new. And then I thought, what is new then? What is new? This dyslexia, what does it actually mean? It means now that I can get assistance, I can get help, as long as I ask for it. There's Read and Write Gold, which is a computer program that assists with basically writing emails or anything. It's a fantastic tool. And various other things, like if I go on a course at our development centre, I can ask for more time completing in the assignments, and also for I can also get the course notes if I want them first. I can ask for them so they can give me the course notes. I can read through them, so I'm a little bit more prepared when I start, which is all handy stuff. And there's all sorts of other things that are there to help. Even coloured overlays to put over paper. So there's a lot of things that are out there for people with dyslexia, as long as you ask for it. So I thought to myself then, what's the positives with dyslexia? I looked at one of the lists that I saw, and it said, dyslexic people are creative, they're great visual thinker, they think out the box, natural problem solvers. Well, that's something in this job that's really great. You're on a fire ground, you need to be a great problem solver. Very observant, and we're empathic. We build relationships very easy, and that leads to us being great natural leaders. I thought, this list is me. Do they help me? Damn right they do. These are superhero qualities as far as I'm concerned. But I also realise now that superheroes also need help. Iron Man has the Avengers and Jarvis. And what are the Avengers? The team that helps Iron Man. Yeah, they help one another and bring lots of other qualities. And by having that assistance of other people, it really helps you. And Jarvis, he's his computer-assisted technology. Read and Write Gold is my Jarvis. And what would I say to other dyslexic people? Don't be afraid of asking for assistance. It's nothing to be ashamed of. And be proud of the great qualities that you actually have. At the end of the day, you're a superhero after all.